All right, before we add functionality for the bounce up function over here, we're going to add a little bit of code over here to the main part of our code to make sure that this clone function is being called to begin with. So we're just going to say, hey, repeat until the game is going on, essentially until we have lives left. So we're going to say repeat until lives equal 0. And until then, we're going to create clones of this. And myself basically means this sprite that we're coding in, which is the sprite that we are making clones of. Create clones of myself, essentially calling this part of the code. And also, before you create another clone, wait a certain amount of time, right? So we're going to go over here to wait specific number of seconds. And now we don't want this to be a fixed number, because to begin with, we want the game to be a little bit easier, and we want the clones to take their time, come nice and slow. And then as the game progresses, we want it to get harder and harder as time goes by. So the clones start coming down faster and faster and faster, and there's more of them coming down. So we want the amount of seconds that you have to wait between each clone coming down to be a direct result of how long you've been playing the game, right? So, or essentially what your score is, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a formula here. So you're just gonna have to copy paste this because it's a little bit of a complicated formula, so you don't have to really worry about it. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna use a couple of operators. So we're gonna have a divide to begin with, then we're gonna have an add inside of that, and then we're gonna have another divide inside of that. Okay, so this is how the formula works. It's 1 divided by 1 plus the score divided by 100. All right, so don't worry about why this formula is the way it is. It's just a formula that we're going to use here. Okay, so just copy paste what I did over here and just drop that into wait seconds. All right, so wait that many seconds before you create another one. Okay. So put that in place. And now what this does is that it creates clones at first a little bit slower, slow and slow and slow. And then as time goes by and as we accumulate our scores, it's going to come down faster and faster. All right, so for the bounce up functionality, we first need to have a command that says repeat until our sprite essentially gets high enough, right? So we're going to say repeat until the Y position of our sprite is larger than a certain amount. So we're going to say repeat until the Y position is larger than, let's say, 180. All right. And until then, we're going to have the Y to change by, let's say, 15. So we want it to be going up at a much larger number than it was coming down by, because remember, that's still coming down by -5. So if we have it go up by +15, in total, it's going up by a lot more. All right, so just have that change Y by +15. And of course, we need to add 1 to our score because we've successfully rescued one of these clones. So we're going to have change score. Of course, we have to go to variables. There we go. We have to change score by +1 over here. And of course, we need to also delete the clone. So because we no longer need it. So we're going to say delete this clone. All right, so just like that. And now our program should be good to go. So let's just go ahead and try it. So this one comes down. I'll just push it up, push it up, push it up, push it up. And I'm going to let this one drop. See what happens. There we go. We lose a life. So I'm going to push these ones up, push that one up, push that one up. There we go. And I'm going to let this one drop. So we only have 1 life left. And then we're going to let another one drop. So maybe let that one drop. There we go. So, and the game ends, right? So when we get to 0, the game has to end. So just double check that that happens and the sprites stop coming down. All right. So it's looking good so far. So go ahead and try it out yourself. Just play around with your friends, and it's a fun game to play. So just go ahead and try it out and see how you feel about it. And I'll see you in the next video.